Well, Martin, a bittersweet sort of day for Celtic. Celebration of a great 10 years for Tom Boyd, but sadness at the death of Bobby Murdoch today.
Real sadness. I know that he'd had a stroke yesterday, obviously severe enough, and has died this morning. It's terribly sad altogether.
It's going to be a great night there for Tom Boyd, isn't it? One mustn't forget that, and the great servant he's been for Celtic here.
Fantastic servant. I believe that testimonials nowadays will be a thing of the past. They'll disappear completely, with players only having 2 or 3 years service at football clubs, and for him to have had 10 years at such a great club is fantastic for him. I'm delighted that Manchester United have chosen to come up here, and it's a great boost for him, and I think he's sold out.
Can you quite believe the kind of season you had here in your first season?
It's been amazing, Steve, absolutely amazing. If you had interviewed me here at the start, way back in last June, I would have taken everything that's been going, but it's been absolutely marvellous for Tommy Boyd as well.
Thanks very much for joining us.
Pleasure.
He's been brilliantly organised. It's very strong. Something special up front. Obviously Larsson has been spectacularly good, but all the way through the team, Lennon's made a huge difference in midfield as well. He's got a group together that can work together and that want to work together.
Okay, we can see the teams coming out now, holding their booty for the season. Celtic, of course, have got one more trophy still to compete for. Let's hand over to our commentary team tonight, Billy McNeil, but first, Gary Boone.
Thanks, Steve. Good evening, everyone. So, a night that was meant to bring so much joy to Celtic fans also brings such sorrow with the untimely death of Bobby Murdoch. The champions of Scotland against the champions of England, and while the best part of 60,000 fans are here to say thanks to Celtic's most loyal servant in the past decade, many at this moment will be thinking back 3.5 decades to Celtic's most glorious night in Lisbon, when 11 players in hoop jerseys played themselves into the ranks of footballing legends.
Make some noise, please, for Tommy Boyd.
The first from that team might have passed away in the early hours of this morning, but they'll still be talking about Bobby Murdoch and the rest of the Lisbon Lions for many years to come. The captain of the Lisbon Lions sits alongside me. That's a lovely sight, isn't it? Tom Boyd with Tom Jr.
Well, it is, isn't it? It's lovely. You see that more and more these days, that players are bringing their families onto the ground with them, and that's the way it should be, because we've got to introduce youngsters to the game, and what nicer way.
Tom Boyd, 10 years at Celtic. And the crowd were making their way towards the ground for the past hour to pay tribute to this most loyal servant. 35 years old, a Celtic fan since a young boy. He's played under 9 managers since his Celtic debut in February 1992. He was signed by Liam Brady from Chelsea in a swap deal involving Tony Cascarino. I think you feel that Celtic got the better end of the deal.
Well, he's certainly been a very, very good player, and the thing about him is he's unsure, as it were. He gets about his job, very quick, very positive, and really very, very consistent, which is always good in a defender.
Incidentally, tonight's referee Hugh Dallas actually booked Tom Boyd on his very first visit to Celtic Park, and he got the wrong player. Anyway, as we approach kick-off time, there'll be a minute's silence in memory of Bobby Murdoch, European Cup winner, Scottish international, Scottish Player of the Year for 1969. Our condolences go out to Bobby Murdoch's family, his wife Kathleen, his sons Bobby and Barry, and daughter Kathleen.
Of Celtic legend Bobby Murdoch, who passed away at 5 o'clock this morning.
bless Bobby Murdoch. Let's concentrate on tonight's game, and Celtic will view this match as a bit of a dress rehearsal for the Scottish Cup final against Hibs in 11 days' time. It's a great opportunity for Bobby Petta, who's been sidelined with a groin injury, to prove to Martin O'Neill he's worth a place at Hampden Park. The newly crowned Scottish Footballer of the Year, Henrik Larsson, gets a chance to test his goal-scoring ability against the champions of England. Manchester United were expecting to play former Rangers goalkeeper Andy Gouw from the start, but he's only named as one of the substitutes. Otherwise, this is virtually a full-strength Manchester United team. Well, if you're going to hold a party, then a great venue and a great guest list are paramount. And tonight, Tom Boyd has one of the finest club venues anywhere in Europe, and gracing it, one of the finest club sides in Europe in the last 5 years. Celtic are fast catching up the likes of Manchester United. This might only be a friendly, but when Manchester United are in town and it's the champions of Scotland against the champions of England, it can't be that much of a friendly.
No, I must admit, I don't think Celtic will see it as a friendly. They will see it as a way to prove to the world that they're capable of doing well in Europe next year. Plus the fact that there are several players out there who are probably fighting for top final places.
Ryan Giggs, who captains Manchester United tonight. Free here is Dennis Irwin, who enjoyed his own testimonial game at the start of this season against Manchester City, and here's Paul Scholes. Irwin. All the way through to Douglas, the goalkeeper of Celtic. I've been told by Martin O'Neill there'll be 3 goalkeepers used by Celtic tonight. Each will play half an hour each. Karim and Jonathan Gould are the other goalkeepers who will all get a taste of this party atmosphere. Nicky Butt. Celtic aiming for their first domestic treble since 1969, last achieved under Jock's team, and a certain Mr McNeil remembers that team very well.
Well, it was a good side in actual fact, I believe it or not, but you know, it surprised me just a little bit when I saw the record, and I'd forgotten how few times we managed the treble, because when you're doing well as we did at that particular time, you think that everything belongs to you, but obviously it didn't every year.
Irwin. Lennon intercepted. Here's the man of the evening, Tom Boyd, and a big cheer from the home fans. Quite right. It's his party after all. Lennon. Manchester United have very little to play for, just one remaining league fixture away to Tottenham at the weekend, but Celtic still have the Scottish Cup final in 11 days' time. They still have to fit in a final league fixture at the weekend, but as Martin O'Neill has been saying in the press this week, there's 1 or 2 places up for grabs in his starting 11 at Hampden Park against Hibs. Lambert. And Petta on the overlap here. Phil Neville read the situation intelligently. His brother Gary, incidentally, is out till next season through injury. And it's Petta to take this through it. Philip Neville scored his first goal for 3 years against Middlesbrough at the end of April. Neil Lennon, who's made such an impact on this Celtic team since switching from Leicester City. His infectious enthusiasm has been a real example to all his teammates, and here he is again. Boy, no, he's not going to have a shot, surely. Boyd's there! A little back heel. I think I've seen Tom Boyd in the opposition penalty area more in the opening 5 minutes of this game I've seen in his entire career.
Well, I'm a bit like that as well, but I think he got a bit excited there, didn't he? Because it was a wonderful chance. He got a bit excited and fell and lost it, didn't he?
He did admit that if he had one of the a failing or two as a player. It might be that he didn't get forward enough into the opponent's penalty area, and in his entire Celtic career he's only ever scored 2 goals.
That's right. That was a great opportunity. Well, that would have made the night for him, wouldn't it?
I still think he'll score before the evening's done. Yep, Stam for Manchester United. Phil Neville linking up with David Beckham. Not much of a summer off for the likes of Beckham and co as they look forward now to meeting up with their international teammates and 2 important World Cup qualifiers on the horizon. Scholes, Beckham, Irwin, and here's Silvestre with an unfamiliar number 9 on his back. Irwin, Paul Scholes, but alongside him. Lovely football here by Manchester United. And in the entire time Alex Ferguson has been at the club, Manchester United have failed to beat Celtic in 5 friendly testimonial games. Now he's not much of a goal scorer, this chap, but he fancied his chances here, didn't he?
Certainly, goalkeeper gave him a chance, didn't he? He flapped the ball out. I think Boyd was so anxious to come in there. And what did he try there, Gary?
He blocked it himself, actually, Billy, didn't he?
He was enjoying himself anyway.
This is Lennon and Bobby Petta. Henrik Larsson, newly crowned Scottish Footballer of the Year. It's meant to be a friendly. That wasn't too friendly, that challenge by Phil Neville.
Another tackle of that might not go back there at Glasgow.
Lennon with a cross. Thompson with that speculative effort. Thompson, who was sent off in his first Old Firm game when Celtic were beaten 5-1 in November. Manchester United, who clinched the English Championship a month ago following a 4-2 win against Coventry. They've been freewheeling a bit since then, and of course were beaten at Southampton at the weekend. Enjoying this attacking spell. Lennon. Thank you, Dennis. Says goal kick. Lennon. In his second meeting with Manchester United this season, he was part of the Leicester team beaten 3-0 at home by United back in October before he made his switch to Celtic Park.
He needs a touch on that, Gary, doesn't he?
I think he's helping Celtic tonight, actually.
Well, I think he's trying. He got a touch on that. I think he just diverted it away from Moravcik.
Lambert's header. Raymond van der Haar, whose contract expires at the end of the season, he has expressed an interest in playing in the USA in the Major Soccer League there. Scholes. Dennis Irwin. Ryan Giggs. Scholes. Sheringham. It's a great ball forward towards Moravcik. Had a shot on goal. Slightly off target and slightly stretching for it, but Celtic will enjoy the better early moments of this game.
But that was a lovely move by Moravcik. Spotted Paul Lambert advancing there. It's not often that Paul gets himself into that position, but difficult shot to take, certainly.
Alan Stubbs, great to see him back in the starting 11 for Celtic after his personal battle against illness. Tom Boyd. Lennon. Valgaeren. Just looking around Celtic Park, it's at least 3/4 full, if not more. Well, a lot of spectators have arrived late in the stadium, and there's not too many spare seats now. And that's a testament to Tom Boyd's popularity at this club over the last decade. That one headed out by Irwin. Yep, Stam. Scholes and Nicky Budd. It is rumoured that Nicky Budd could be leaving Manchester United in the summer. He has been a transfer target of Blackburn Rovers, who've been promoted to the Premiership. This is Larsson. Beckham. Ryan Giggs rather unable to get there. David Beckham, who's now won 5 Premier League titles with Manchester United. And of course, whispering quietly here, is the captain of England. Tom Boyd, who captained Scotland in the last international away in Poland in Bydgoszcz. But named in towards Ryan Giggs. Stam, and that's Beckham who's onside here. David Beckham had just sprayed into an offside position, but the referee's assistant kept his flag down. Irwin. Good tackle by Lambert. Larsson. Trying to pick out Moravcik. And Teddy Sheringham. Oh, that's a great save. Teddy Sheringham spotted the goalkeeper Douglas off his line and he tried to chip him. He really has had a fantastic season, hasn't he?
He has indeed, and the quick thinking there. It's amazing Ryan Giggs has a little touch on it. And look at that. Tremendous save from the goalkeeper.
Scholes. And the referee's assistant has moved across to indicate it should have been a corner.
Superb strike from Sheringham. He sizes up the opportunity. Almost catches the goalkeeper, but good save from Rob Douglas. In fairness to him, he was well off his line, but got a good hand check, got it over the bar. But tremendous quick thinking from Sheringham.
Beckham and Giggs. Just lost near Lennon for a moment. Teddy Sheringham almost profited from his own flick through. Teddy Sheringham, the PFA and Football Writers Player of the Year. And of course his Scottish equivalent is on the park tonight as well, Henrik Larsson. Foul by Valgaeren on Silvestre.
Nothing else he could do really. Couldn't really get out of his way, but the referee was certainly right to give the free kick.
Beckham. This is Dennis Irwin. Scholes to Sheringham. But Moravcik. Once United get the ball, it's difficult to get it off them, isn't it?
They've stepped up the pace of the game, haven't they? Started just a little bit, let's say, as good. They're lovely and sharp, and to me, Scholes is at the centre of everything.
Yep, Stam. And here's David Beckham. Lovely weighted pass, but this time Intercepted by Valgaeren. This is Agathe. United, of course, wrapped up the championship in record time in England, 8 days earlier than last season. Several of our players have talked about looking forward to playing at Celtic Park. Stam has pushed over Agathe. While the home fans are looking for a spot kick there, Manchester United get a goal kick.
It was real good defending, wasn't it? He waited his opportunity, forced Agathe to go on the outside, turned quickly himself and just used his strength to win the ball.
Sheringham. And here's Agathe, who's got plenty of room to move into. That's trying to get back here for Manchester United. And that is a foul. There's a massive hole opened up there on the left-hand side of the Manchester United defence.
Well, Dennis Irwin got caught out, didn't he? Nickelback did very well to get across. I don't think he needed to do a little bit of a body check, but good work. Came away across the pitch, they spotted the danger and really sorted it out for his team.
There is a competitive edge about this game, even though it is a testimonial game. Moravcik. Larsson. That was an effort there. Valgaeren scooping the ball high and wide. Not the sort of player you expect to get forward in that sort of position. Actually, Valgaeren's form has been one of the reasons Tom Boyd, which is why we're all here tonight, has been unable to get in the Celtic team over the last few months. As Martin O'Neill has found a winning blend, especially defensively, where Celtic have conceded very few goals indeed. Tom hasn't played as much as he might have liked.
No, he hasn't really. That's where we've been very strong on that back. In the centre of defence, he's been very powerful, very, very positive, and Valgaeren has been responsible for an awful lot of it. He's had a tremendous debut season.
And Johan Mjällby, of course, isn't involved tonight. He too has been a regular in those three central defensive positions.
That's right. But he's got good options. It's nice to see Alan Stubbs coming back. He's made a tremendous recovery. He's had a lot to fight against this season, and I think he's really done well. Everyone seems to like him. He's got a good attitude about him, good appetite for the game, and it's nice to see him back.
One of the more heartwarming stories on the modern game, Alan Stubbs' fight against testicular cancer. And on 2 occasions now he's come back. Let's hope it's the last time he has to suffer. Lambert. Petta. Home fans craving a goal now. We've had a bit of help from Raymond van der Houw. And here's Agathe. Player signed from Hibs. Lennon. Moravcik and Agathe. 2 to aim at in the middle. Again, Van der Houw couldn't get there. Here's Bobby Petta. And Dennis Irwin will thrash that one upfield towards Ryan Giggs. Silvestre. Scholes. And that's a terrific ball to Ryan Giggs, who's pulled it back. And it's rather easily mopped up by Celtic there in the shape of Stubbs. Lennon. Cole or York starting this game, and in fact neither of them included in the United squad tonight. But Sheringham and Giggs is a pretty formidable forward line nonetheless. Thompson. Agathe. Silvestre. Silvestre has recently broken into the French national team. Such has been his impressive form at Old Trafford this season. Boyd. Tom Boyd first went to see Celtic as a 6 or 7 year old. His first game he saw was Celtic against East Fife. And the stars of the Celtic team then were Danny McGrain and a certain Kenny Dalglish. And Celtic has been in his blood ever since. Moravcik, Larsson, he's got away from May. And here's Petta. Petta again. Good Celtic pressure here. Lambert, Agathe, two to aim at in the middle, Thompson and Larsson, and got clear by that man mountain, Stam. Agathe, Lennon, and United just nicked the ball then. I thought it was a foul by Thompson on Butt, and there was a rather forlorn expression on the face of Nicky Butt, ignored by Hugh Dallas. And here's Moravcik. Neil Lennon. It's always a personal ambition to play for this club. Thompson. It's meant to be a friendly.
I don't think Paul Scholes sees it that way, does he? It's very competitive. A real aggressive challenge. That one was. I think Mr. Dallas is just in a good mood tonight.
Just become a dad again for the second time. Maybe a few sleepless nights have just disturbed his equilibrium. But he's back in the Manchester United team and snarling. Larsson towards Moravcik. Teddy Sheringham. Rather, it's Butt who gets it forward to Silvestre. A bit of payback time there from Agathe. You can tell by the way the Celtic players are facing this game. They know there's a big match on the horizon. And they want to be included for that Scottish Cup final when Celtic will attempt to win the domestic treble. They face a Beckham free kick, flicked on dangerously by Teddy Sheringham. Nobody on the back post to convert the chance.
Well, that's been a feature for both sides. Good delivery from Beckham. And just perhaps just that little bit high, but Sheringham was very good in there. He's very good at timing things. But one of the disappointing things is that when both teams have had attacks, they've not had enough support from midfield. I don't think they're not getting people in the box.
How seriously do you think Manchester United are taking this game, Billy?
Well, I think they know it's a game, and knowing Alex Ferguson, he will have them worked up. He's lost his last 2 games. He won't be happy with that because he is a bit of a perfectionist, and he'll have told them and warned them and perhaps reminded them that there might be other people come to Old Trafford through the close seasons, you know. I think that, plus the fact that players have got lots of pride, as will the Celtic. Celtic have got an awful lot more to play for this season. Players playing for cup final spots, but I think it will be competitive.
Celtic. Moravcik waits. It's over Moravcik's head. Oh, great header by Larsson. Kept out by the frame of the goal. 51 goals this season for Larsson. Alex Ferguson put odds of 4-1 on Larsson failing to score against his team. He almost managed it there.
Well, it's a marvellous delivery from Agathe. United seem to be leaving an awful lot of room down that right hand side of Celtic, and if he gets the room and gets deliveries at that end, he'll cross forward. And Larsson, to be fair, is not the biggest character in the world, but great timing there, very, very quick, the headers he puts in.
Alex Ferguson this week has been talking about Henrik Larsson, saying that if he were to put a price on Larsson's head, he'd probably guess about 15 million.
I don't think that Celtic fans will welcome any price on him. They just hope he's going to be here forever.
Giggs. Oh, and here's a bit of space for David Beckham. Silvestre, 1-0. And it's Michael Silvestre who scores the game's opening goal. Just short of the 25-minute mark. He says, look at my name. Well, he hasn't got one on his back. But it was set up by another terrific pinpoint pass from David Beckham.
It was beautiful delivery, wasn't it? But that's the first time we've seen United get some bodies in that box, but the delivery from Beckham, he's got plenty of room to line up what he wants to do, knocks it in behind the Celtic defenders, and really leaves Silvestre with an easy job to do.
I think the idea was that Celtic were meant to score first, weren't they?
I think United have got this wrong, haven't they?
They're not the ideal party guess, but they never were they?
No, you know, I would respect them more if they have come out as they have done, and they want to put a performance on, they want to show people that can play, and that's what you'd expect from them.
There's Teddy Sheringham, Ryan Giggs, and Silvestre has already scored one. Is after this one again. Rarely gets a chance to play in such an advanced position, but he seems to be enjoying himself. Stubbs trying to pick out Larsson. He's muscled out of it there by Neville. Unofficial Battle of Britain being won at the moment by Manchester United. And suddenly the vocal support from Celtic Park raises a few notches, and that should be a timely reminder to the players in the green and white hoops to get on with it. Just about still smiling, but I think he'll expect his team to at least find a goal before the break.
He won't be happy. He's a proud man. He wants to build a team that proud of their own performances and not give things away. And they lost the game, the home game, the only home game they've lost this season to Dundee on Sunday, and really he'll be very disappointed with that.
But, yes, prior to Sunday's defeat, Celtic had won their previous 12 games in a row, and the team had been unbeaten in 26 matches, so that's hardly the ideal preparation facing such an important game in 11 days' time when they face Hibs in the Scottish Cup final.
Well, I'm quite sure Martin will have his own ideas about how he's going to get his team in order again, but
Petta's cross.
We'll be looking at this, and Bobby Petta, for instance, he's not played. This is the first game he's played for 3-4 weeks, so he'll be looking to him to prove his fitness. Alan Stubbs likewise.
Lennon. Also opening here for Larsson. United was slapped defensively. And Larsson, goal poacher supreme this season, and able to take full advantage. Yes, I was talking to Martin O'Neill prior to the kick-off, and he said he wanted to check on the fitness of Tabili and Mahe before the night was done, so expect to see them at some stage. Here's Agathe. Well, a predictable cross, easily dealt with by Manchester United. Hardly got out of third gear in the opening half an hour, but they look so impressive. Silvestre. Beaten by a beat. His determination takes him on into the penalty area. Moravcik. Larsson. Huge gasp of anticipation. Larsson put back his boot to shoot. The losers here, and they normally expect Larsson to be successful. And here's Ryan Giggs. Beckham getting forward for United, and Sheringham. Beckham, he's missed. Oh, he thought it was funny anyway. The captain of England misses from very close range.
I think I'm sure he didn't fancy that one, did he? He didn't enjoy that much. Gave a smile anyway, but you know, Agathe has really been creating problems down this right hand side, and when you see how he gets away, certainly is useful defending, but really you think Celtic should have scored with that one.
Martin O'Neill's policy of rotating his goalkeepers sees the first change of the match. Dimitri Kari, the second goalkeeper to be used by Celtic tonight. Dimitri Kari, the former Chelsea goalkeeper, who had 7 years at Chelsea, including letting in 4 against United in the 1994 FA Cup final. Who would be your money on to start the cup final in goal, Billy?
It's an interesting one, isn't it? I doubt very much that Martin's going to tamper too much with his side, and I think he's just building up the hopes of other players and just keeping them alive towards the end of the season. I think Korean has not had all that many games this season, so he's obviously reminding him that he's still got an opportunity here, but I don't think he'll alter his line-up very much at all.
And you would expect Douglas to start against Gibbs?
I would think so.
Lambert there for Celtic. We're back to Alan Stubbs. Petta, who really has a lot to prove in the next week or so if he's going to find a place in Martin O'Neill's starting 11 in the Scottish Cup final at Hampden Park. Only played 11 minutes of football in the last 3 months due to a groin injury. This is Giggs, Beckham, Scholes, and Petta got back to help out his defence there. Moravcik. Easily picked up by Stam. Giggs. There we go. Ryan Giggs, who has his own testimonial game against Celtic on August the 1st at Old Trafford. He last played here 5 years ago when the ground was under redevelopment, and he's been talking this week about his passion for Celtic Football Club and how much he's looking forward to his own testimonial game. Scholes. Valgaeren, given away to Beckham. Goalkeeper, according to referee Hugh Dallas, didn't get a touch, but Beckham's anger belies the fact that this is a friendly game, and he's not endearing himself to the home supporters by arguing the case. Did Karin get a touch? He did.
I think he got a touch, yeah. I think what David Beckham's really after is that miss is still annoying him, and He's had a good strike there, and watched him ensure the goalkeeper saved it rather than he's put it past the post. Yeah, definitely touch by Kelly.
Giggs. Targets here for this Celtic free kick. Larsson, who's being marked by Stam. Moravcik. Oh. That should have been 1-1, and Valgaeren now has had two very presentable opportunities to find the net, and he's scuffed them both.
Well, it has indeed. He's normally quite competent in the other team's box, but gets a little break from the linesman there. I think he might well have been offside, but nevertheless a total the bar in any case.
It's almost as if United don't want Henrik Larsson to score, but I don't mind anybody else scoring. And here's Giggs. He's away from his last defender there, and he did a fine save on it for him. Valgaeren got back. Still scurrying back after threatening the Manchester United goal. But maybe Celtic fortunate not to go two behind. Thompson none too pleased about the award of a free kick to United. Scholes gives it away to Valgaeren. There's Agathe, who is fouled by Beckham. The referee allows the advantage. But Sheringham. By Boyd to Karim, and Karim was none too thankful of the pass. Agathe, Lennon, Celtic then still chasing the game. Larsson, Thompson, Petta now for Celtic. Larsson waits, it's cut out though very easily by Nicky Butt. Scholes, Ryan Giggs. Incidentally, there's never been a competitive game between Manchester United and Celtic. Of course, there's a distinct possibility it could happen next season if Celtic can qualify for the Champions League, when they could rub shoulders with Manchester United. Watering prospect for the Celtic fans. The Champions League is where they want to be. This is Bobby Petta. Stam. Back to Van der Haar. I wonder if Manchester United will bring on Andy Gorham at some stage. I'm sure they will. And the former Rangers man has been looking forward to this clash. And returning to Celtic Park, where he's played so many memorable games against Celtic. Petta. Lennon. Lambert. Thompson tried to hold the ball up unsuccessfully. And just for the moment, Celtic camped into the United half. until that misplaced pass lets United off the hook. Larsson still looking to score against United. He has rattled their crossbar with a very good header in. Sheringham. Beckham. Did suggest there might be several changes at half-time to his Celtic team as he checks out the fitness of one or two players in his squad. Lennon. Valgaeren. Silvestre, and there's a deliberate handball in there by Lennon. I don't think Hugh Dennis will want to show a yellow card, but
you would think in a testimonial game the referee would always resist the temptation to do that, but I suppose that everything else they've got the standards to meet as well. But interesting, every now and then United just step up a level, they move up and look so very, very threatening indeed.
Giggs. It's a lovely bit of skill. Scholes. By Petta. Can Celtic find a goal for the break? Thompson. Moravcik. Larsson waiting in the middle here, and once again Stam got in the way. And there's an injury to Stam. Just seemed to fall awkwardly, and I think he might have damaged either his hamstring or the back of his knee. My guess is here Manchester United will not take any chances with Stam. Andy Gouw, I'm hoping he can come on to play for Stam, but I don't think he's going to play in defence.
He's guaranteed a good reception if he does come on, I can assure you of that, Gary. But that will be a blow to Alec and to Stam, because he's such an impressive centre-half, isn't he?
We do have Ronnie Johnson on the bench, and that would be the most likely switch. Didn't see many malintent when Stam fell awkwardly.
I think it was a stumble as much as anything. His studs are probably stuck in the tuff and he's gone over, and the weakest bit goes, which is soft in the knee. He's been a very impressive player since he came to United, and you can see the worry in Alec Ferguson. Even at the end of the season he didn't have a problem with injuries with this fella.
Understand that Manchester United could well wait till half-time before deciding whether to make a substitution, as they assess the damage to Stam's left knee. Let's hope he's all right. Lambert. So this moment, United down to 10 men, and that just might open the door to the likes of Henrik Larsson, who has the ball here. Lambert. Agathe. Far too close to Van der Haar. Manchester United have switched Silvestre to a central defensive role whilst they sort out the problem with Stam. as we head for half-time. What will Celtic make of the opening 45 minutes against the English champions?
Well, I think they'll be a little bit disappointed. Obviously, they had one or two chances. Certainly, Larsson hit the ball up to Nick's head. Dan had a couple of chances. Lots of opportunities for the Gaff early on in the game, but that disappeared.
Is Petta.
You know, that's typical of Celtic play. Often you see a Gaff with the final ball being careless and casual. Petta did exactly that there because he had plenty of opportunities to pitch someone out. But you know, in the first half, every now and then United just explode into a different gear and they look so threatening and so impressive.
And at half-time, it's advantage Manchester United. Silvestre's goal just short of the 25-minute. Larsson has rattled the Manchester bar with a powerful header, and Celtic will want to do better in the second half. Half-time score then in Tom Boyd's testimonial is Celtic 0, Manchester United 1.
Ladies and gentlemen, get your Paradise Wonderful tickets ready. We're going to make the draw in a couple of minutes' time.
Tom, how special an evening is this for you and your family?
This is absolutely tremendous. Obviously it's a great joy for me to be out here and getting a testimonial match, but obviously today's times with a lot of sadness in the death of Bobby Murdoch passing away today. But I'm sure he would have wanted the game to go ahead, and we'll go out here and try our best so if we can get a victory for him.
Any predictions for the second half? Boyd with a couple of goals perhaps?
No, when I was in the penalty box fun and I went to pieces. But no, it's been a great game. I think it's been a good advert. Both teams are going for it, and hopefully we can get it a second half.
Maybe meet him in the Champions League next year?
Hope so, yes, that'd be nice. Maybe the final.
Good luck, Tom, thanks.
Thank you.
Go on then, Tommy, they need you out there now. Let's hand over to our commentary team. Billy McNeil, the first Gareth.
Many thanks. I could have made a couple of switches at half-time. They did have a problem regarding Stam, who picked up some sort of hamstring or knee injury towards the end of the first half. They've assessed the damage. Ronnie Johnsen is one of the players coming on. There he is. Ronnie Johnsen recently returned from a knee injury of his own. That saw him sidelined for 6 months. He replaces Stam then. And it's in fact Quinton Fortune, the other United player, coming on. He will replace Dennis Irwin. So Celtic looking to find a goal to draw level in this one. The Scottish champions, who won the league for the second time in 13 years. Plenty of pride hurt by that Manchester United goal scored by Silvestre on 25 minutes. I think Henrik Larsson will be glad to see the back of Stam in the nicest possible way.
Yeah, he's such a good defender, Stam, isn't he? But he's very difficult for any centre-forward to play against. He's got a good turn of pace, but he reads the game so very well.
Valgaeren. Agathe. Confirmation of no changes with Celtic at half-time, but just to underline, they are using all three of their squad goalkeepers tonight and giving them each half an hour. And we're still yet to see Jonathan Gouw, who will come on in 15 minutes' time. Thompson. Bobby Petta. Lennon now for Celtic. Thompson. In towards Larsson, who always carries that threat. Lambert's shot hugely disappointing. Paul Lambert, who was part of the Borussia Dortmund team that beat Manchester United in the semi-finals of the '97 Champions League, highlight of his career. Philip Neville gives it away to Lennon. Moravcik will leave it to Petta. In towards Larsson, came off May. And Lennon making his feelings plain about quality of the ball played into the Manchester United penalty area. This is Paul Scholes. Nicky Butt now involved. And he's made a very good run here, but Giggs is on the overlap. He was on his unfavoured right foot. Rather weak shot. Corner to Manchester United. Beckham. Kept back to Neville. Beckham again. Sheringham. Fortune. Good pressure here by Manchester United, who at times could effortlessly step up a gear. Sheringham seemed to be held down by Tom Boyd. It's their change of pace which makes them so irresistible at times, Billy, isn't it?
Yeah, they've got they just explode into a different gear, and when they do, their one-touch football at times is absolutely magnificent, and they seem to know exactly where each other are. And you've got to remember that while it's competitive, there's still an edge that they don't really need in this game.
Would you believe that their defeat at Southampton on Sunday with a very understrength team was only their 5th in their last 50 Premier League games? They don't lose very often, and they don't like losing. Here's Agathe. Dallas had a long hard look at that one before waving play on. And here's Ryan Giggs. Scholes. Beckham tries to stay onside. Sheringham unable to feed the ball wide. Tom Boyd did well to win it back for Celtic. A bit of bite now about Celtic as they move forward. Thompson. Petta. Sheringham. And here's Beckham again with one of those trademark breaking passes. Cleverly flicked on by Giggs. Fortune now. Giggs and Scholes. Beckham. Sheringham. Terrific block by Lennon. Great football by Manchester United, who are looking for a penalty kick, claiming a handball against Lennon.
An amazing degree of skill there though from Beckham, wasn't it? His composure inside the box. A good break from Scholes early on, set the whole thing up, and Beckham, but look at that for quality and look at that composure.
What were you saying, Willie?
Just overdid the fancy stuff a little bit, didn't he there?
Beckham acknowledges the crowd. Martin O'Neill about switch or two perhaps.
I think there's someone's name is on that sheet to be pulled off, don't you think?
He's not a man to be messed with, is he?
No, he sets standards and he wants his team to achieve them, and I don't see there's anything wrong with that.
Moravcik, Larsson, fouled by Ronnie Johnson. Ronnie Johnson back in the United team, and he just upended Larsson then. And Larsson, you feel, is craving a goal, as if to make a point himself about playing against the English champions.
I'm sure he would love a goal tonight. Who wouldn't, of course.
Moravcik stands over the ball, so too does Thompson and Larsson. That's Moravcik with his hands on his hips. I think it's going to be Larsson. It is Larsson. Well, the flash balls behind Van der Haag's goal were all illuminated there, waiting to see the net bulge as Larsson sent the free kick swinging towards goal. Agathe. Takes on Silvestre, good cross, running by Thompson. Petta, under pressure from Beckham, and he's given Bobby Petta a bit of a kicking here. Bobby Petta was on the receiving end of a very rough challenge there by David Beckham. Could well require a little bit of attention here if he is to continue.
He went over on his ankle at the end of all that. I think he took it up as a challenge for Beckham, but he went over on his ankle.
Well, he's coming off anyway, Petta.
Coming off is number 6, Stubbs.
Coming on, and it's Alan Stubbs who is a player coming off. Valgaeren, who made his Tottenham debut against Manchester United at White Hart Lane. Boyd. Towards Sheringham. Jamie Smith has also come on for Celtic. Bring you confirmation of that in a moment. Larsson, he was being held there by Ronnie Johnson. Fortune. Ronnie again. Butts giving it away. Thompson now for Celtic. Another terrific save, and Larsson puts it wide. Lambert did superbly well to claw the ball away from goal when Henrik Larsson was ready to pounce but couldn't steer the ball in.
It was a magnificent save, wasn't it? It does everything right, push it away from the goal, but right into the path of Larsson, but can't quite get the right connection with it. A bit of carelessness from United there, and I'm sure Fergie won't be too happy with that.
Confirmation that Petta has gone off, and Jamie Smith, who's come up through the youth ranks at Celtic and who played on Sunday against Dundee, has come on, and he wears number 11. Fortune. Giggs. Scholes. Silvestre. Giggs with the challenge superbly of Vega. Silvestre in towards Sheringham. Every time Celtic threaten, Manchester United go down to the other end of the field and threaten themselves. There's a really keenly competitive edge now to this football match, which might be the testimonial game, but Celtic don't want to lose it.
They certainly don't, but obviously they've got to continue creating the chances, but they've got to be a bit more careful if they're taking them in actual fact. But they've lifted the game a bit. They're more competitive. They're enjoying. They're getting stuck in the action. United still every now and then just lift the game, break forward from midfield, and create all sorts of openings.
And Vega, who has settled so well in Glasgow. All his injury problems at Tottenham seem to have cleared up now, and he's really enjoying his football again. And he's added a certain stability to the Celtic defence. Here he is on the ball now. Boyd. Sheringham. Is there another United goal here? That's well held by Dimitri Cardi. Celtic being urged on now by their noisy and enthusiastic following. Moravcik. Oh, trebly touched on. Agathe! Couldn't pick out Larsson. The Celtic chances are coming in handfuls now. Lambert trying to help it. Thompson trying to get it onto his left foot. Beckham. And United are going to spring again and try and hit Celtic on the counter-attack. Teddy Sheringham, the most prominent player forward in this United raid. Look at that for a ball. Admittedly, Sheringham was offside. Lennon. Moravcik. Appeals for offside against Larsson, not given. Celtic just trying to squeeze a goal out of the English champions here. Silvestre just won't give in. Player who won his 4th international cap in the last game France played. Oh, that's just wide from Lennon, and he might have injured himself here. Now this is a worry for Celtic. Lennon went in very bravely there. Fed by Lambert.
It's good pass from Lambert inside the fullback. Look at the recovery there, but certainly a knock for Lennon, and that might be well and that's just more of a remark than a nail, but look at the recovery there.
Ryan Giggs.
Ryan Giggs, who will lock horns with Celtic once again on the 1st of August in his own testimonial game. And it's Djordjic who comes on. Normally one of the supporting cast at Old Trafford, but now playing on one of the biggest stages of any football club in Europe.
Moravcik.
Moravcik is coming off for Celtic.
And coming on is
Maloney is a player coming on.
Teddy coming on.
And Tabili is also on as Celtic make wholesale changes. Now he's a player who has been struggling with injury of late, and this gives Martin O'Neill a chance to check on his fitness.
I think it also gives Valgaeren a rest as well, Gary, because I don't think he wants to lose him so near the final, but certainly it will give Tabili another chance. He hasn't had enough lot of chances in the first team this season. It gives young Maloney another grasp of what football's all about, especially at this level. It's a wonderful experience for him.
David Beckham. Djordjic. First touch of the ball. Teddy Sheringham. Good block by Cardi. Oh, the big surprise is it will match only has one goal and he got the man. Maloney now for Celtic. Lambert and Lennon continue to control midfield for Celtic. And they're not going to bring off Tom Boyd. That's Jamie Smith. Smith has tried to chip the goalkeeper here. Oh, and he's almost succeeded. What an opportunity there for Jamie Smith. Oh, what cheek to try to chip the Manchester United goalkeeper from 25 yards.
He's got a nice little nose for a goal, his young Jamie, and a little bit cheeky there, but nothing wrong with that.
Coming off is number 18, Lennon.
substitution for Celtic as Lennon comes off.
And taking place now is number 4, Jackie McNamara.
And Jackie McNamara is the player coming on. Another switch is going to happen in goal. Jonathan Gould is also coming on. Corner to Celtic meanwhile. Fisted clear by Van der Hau. Lambert. Tabuli. Disappointing touch from him. Jonathan Gould has come on now and is the third Celtic goalkeeper used by Martin O'Neill tonight. He replaces Dimitri Kay. Beckham. Smith. Continue to get terrific support from their fans. Scholes, Vega, Jamie Smith now for Celtic. Thompson, Agathe, Johnson gets the ball clear. Celtic roar is in evidence once again as the green and white hoops squeeze Manchester United and try find an equalising goal. I can't believe Manchester United will be such party poopers to leave Celtic Park with a victory. Goal kick. Vega was looking for a corner. Listen to the words of the penalty piece.
He'll be enjoying that Andy roll because it gives him a nice welcome. He knew to expect it, and they haven't let him down.
He's loving this. 7 years at Rangers, he broke many a Celtic manager's heart with some outstanding performances in Old Firm games. A controversial goalkeeper. I wouldn't want to say any more than that.
No, certainly controversial, but against Celtic invariably makes incredible saves, certainly when he was at Rangers, and he'll enjoy the response that he's provoked from the crowd.
Paul Lambert comes off here for Celtic. And Healy is on to replace him. And every time Andy Gorham touches a ball now, he's going to be roundly booed by the home supporters. Andy Gorham, who found out this week he was being released at the end of the season by Motherwell and hasn't got a club in the summer. That's quite some leap, isn't it? From Manchester United to having no club at all.
It is, Gary, but he's in a magnificent shot window, isn't he? Fergie's having a real time from that sense. I know that he bought him in a little bit of an emergency, but nevertheless he's put him into the shot window and given him a great opportunity to continue and to foster his game.
And I think Manchester United are quite enjoying themselves, leading by a goal to nil. Celtic are struggling to pierce that Manchester United defence. Wow, Maloney, he's prepared to chances on. Or is it Smith? Boyd rolling the ball in.
It's lovely to see that confidence in a young player. You know, young Maloney is this is only his second appearance in the first team. And you know, it's nice to see that type of confidence.
Agathe. Scholes lost the ball. Bit of a hunger about Celtic now as they go forward with their young players. Jamie Smith now for Celtic. Takes on Philip Neville. Philip Neville with a throw-in. Sheringham, Fortune, Beckham. Boyd. This would be some irony if Andy Gorham were to keep out Celtic, enable Manchester United to win this most unfriendly of friendlies so far.
It would be. He would enjoy that, I can tell you that.
Larsson. Neville trying to pick out David Beckham here, but Tom Boyd with the covering challenge. Scholes. Larsson. Tabili. Agathe. The Celtic push here, the more Manchester United resist.
I think both teams are really enjoying the game. It's much more open. It's perhaps not got the pressure of the normal league match or a cup competition, and they're both enjoying themselves. They're both prepared to express themselves.
Tabili. Incidentally, our film tonight at 9:50, Torn Curtain. Hitchcock film starring Paul Newman. Torn Curtain is our Channel 5 movie tonight. Thompson. No, surely that's a foul by Ronnie Johnson. The referee waves play on. Here's Teddy Sheringham. I don't think Manchester United thought in front with 20 minutes to go, but now they don't want to give up this position.
No, and you know, obviously the players are enjoying themselves, so they're out there, they're giving a fair bit of the time, and they're making sure that they're not going to get Celtic back into the game so easily. You know, that I think there's a confidence about them that's quite refreshing to see.
Very much. Disappointing ball by Healy. Fortune wins it for Manchester United. Here's Silvestre. Beckham and Fortune now the two United strikers. Paul Scholes trying to pick out Fortune, but give him away. Here's Larsson. Djordjic. Intercepted here by Jamie Smith. Ronnie Johnson with that clearance. Thompson's ball easily cut out behind him. Tom Boyd. Beckham. Beckham was chased by McNamara, but my goodness, he couldn't catch him. Here's Sheringham. Which now for Manchester United. Just one red shirt in the box. Two now. Sheringham. Terry Sheringham had a very good opportunity there to increase United's advantage.
It's amazing to think the scoreline's only 1-0, isn't it? Because there's been ample opportunities carved out, but there's just been from the front players, and they haven't converted the chances.
Boyd. Thompson now for Celtic. Smith, oh, he just got to the ball first there before Philip Neville. And here's Maloney. Maloney scrapping for it. It's won a free kick. Manchester United can complain all they like. I think Tom Boyd should take this. Clumsy challenge by Silvestre in the end.
It was a clumsy challenge, especially for
and Tom Boyd is being substituted here, so he can get a full round of applause as he says thank you to more than 57,000 fans who have turned out on a very wet night indeed. Tom, one of the most loyal players of the modern era. Replaces him. Meanwhile, Celtic have a free kick. Will either be Larsson or Thompson who are going to strike it towards goal. Is this the moment Celtic draw level? Larsson feels the handball turned aside. Just in a brief view there of the latest substitute to be introduced. Beckham has got replaced by a young Scottish player, Michael Stewart. There he is. Michael Stewart, who's just learning his trade in the Old Trafford ranks, has managed to play one or two games recently after the title had been secured. Again, Rodney Johnson with a covering challenge. Corner to Celtic. Again, doing really well to get down that right flank.
Great pace he's got, Gary, but I think he's just a little bit careless with his final pass, and he invariably gives the defender a chance to intercept it, as we saw there.
We've waited patiently for a Celtic goal. Header by Tabili is wide. Well, there's still a Boyd involved in tonight's game. Jim Boyd, who's the referee's assistant tonight and brother of Tom. Vega, largely unrecognisable Celtic team from the one which took the field at 7:45. Their fans still want them to draw level against the English champions.
Yes, there's a fair mixture of youngsters and players who haven't really appeared in the first team for some considerable time. through not being selected or injury. And from a Martin Neal's point of view, it would be nice to see a whole lot of players put him injury, but I think he'll know exactly what he wants from his cup final team, and there'll be very few of.
Full marks to Alex Ferguson. Full marks to the United boss. He brought out a very strong United team from the kick-off. He unveiled his Beckhams and his Giggs and his Sheringhams and Stams. And United have been competitive and continue to be so. Oh, Silvestre was trying the patience here of Hugh Dallas. It's a free kick here to Celtic. To Bealey's forward. Healy. To Bealey as well. Agathe. So many Celtic players in the box. Vega with the header, who was doing a bit of pushing and shake. And Andy Goran once again booed every time he manages to touch the football, and cheered because he gave it to a Celtic player. They gave it to McNamara. Agathe. Agathe again causes a problem for United. Larsson. Thompson. Blocked by Scholes. There's Ramon Vega again, tries to initiate another Celtic attack. Now cut out by David May. Silvestre. Agathe. Three wait for the cross. Inevitably Larsson is one of them. This is Larsson now. His initial touch took him away from David May. And the ball is through to the villain of the piece, Mr. Gouw.
Yeah. Interesting first touch. He did a good sprint to get away from his marker, but his first control let him down.
I think that Scottish Footballer of the Year title's gone to his head.
Maybe celebrated just a little bit too much.
Terrific run by Maloney and upended by Ronnie Johnson. Pace of youth in evidence there. Ronnie Johnson knew exactly what he was doing.
Maloney's got a nice turn of pace, hasn't he? He's got a lot of that confidence about him. I think he's got a big future ahead of him.
6 Celtic players in or around the penalty area. Larsson tried to get there. Healy tried to get there. But it's United who emerge with the ball. Djordjic, Scholes, and Fortune's onside. It's the only United player forward at the moment. Gouw comes out, and the fourth Fortune to shoot very, very early indeed. In fairness to Quinton Fortune, there was nobody up in support.
No, and he did well. He made sure that he wasn't going to get caught in an offside position. He span across and made the run in. Good pace took him into position, but the shot didn't hurt the chance that he had.
This the 6th time Alex Ferguson has faced Celtic in a friendly game. He has never been on the winning side, and he's only 9 minutes away from breaking that duck now. The last time United came here was on a very foggy night for Paul McStay's testimonial 5 years ago. when United wore their unlucky grey shirts. Mahek. Tabidi. It's all Celtic now. But their passing has sometimes let them down, and United can spring forward so quickly and so effectively, but not on that occasion. McNamara. Healy. Celtic with a clutch of young players in their team now after making so many substitutions. Stewart. Sheringham. Neville. Foul there on Stefan Mahe. Surprising how many players Celtic have coming back from injury, and when they're all fit, Martin O'Neill will have a very nice problem indeed in terms of selection.
Well, it's always nice to have a whole lot. They'll also be finding out which ones are going to be good enough for them in the long term, I think. I would imagine during the course season, I think Martin will be looking to add a little bit of quality to his squad.
Will he sign Andy Gorham, do you think?
If he does, he'll entertain the crowd anyway, won't he?
I don't think so. Gorham has talked about hanging up his gloves at the end of this season if he can't find a club. Tabidi. Agathe. United are just too wily at times for these Celtic kids.
They've kept the discipline, they've kept the shape. I think Celtic perhaps lost their shape a little bit with all the substitutions that have made. It often happens when you make so many substitutions.
Larsson. He's gone down. Says no penalty. Was that a spot kick, Billy?
No, I think he was tempted to go down, and then I think he realised what he was doing and bounced back up again. You'll see how quickly he reacts to the ball. He doesn't stay down looking for something, he gets himself up quickly to try and get involved in it again.
McNamara barged off the ball by very competitive Paul Scholes. Nobody can accuse him of taking this game easy tonight.
Certainly not. He's been competitive right from round one, hasn't he?
Yes, he was a player who broke Scottish hearts with 2 goals in that Euro 2000 playoff last season.
Well, he did a bit, didn't he?
Scholes. Fortune's popped up on the right now. But Scholes really has blossomed into one of the best midfield players in English football. And United finding colleagues with ease at the moment. Silvestre threatens, rattles a shot against Tabili. And Silvestre to Djordjic. Away by Mahe. Few minutes left now. The fans might have to settle for the fact that their team have been outfought at times by Manchester United. I think they hope they will be able to lock onto them again next season in a competitive match. Here's Djordjic. He's tried to chip the keeper. He's done just that and settled the game. A young man whose name may not be that well known outside Old Trafford, but he has skill in abundance, and had the beating of Jonathan Gouw there with a beautiful chip, and Celtic now are staring defeat full in the face.
Well, I think he took Weaver on a little bit there. He looked as though he was going to have the shot. Saw Jonathan Gouw advance off his line and finish so delicately. Beautiful finish. Lovely opportunity. There you are, beautiful and decisive finish. The goalkeeper had no real chance there, did he? But I think United have just had that little edge that Celtic haven't produced tonight, and I think in Paul Scholes have had a magnificent leader.
Sheringham. Djordjic. McNamara. Alex Ferguson said he'd stop Henrik Larsson scoring, and the width of an upright, or rather crossbar, in the first half kept out Henrik Larsson's header, and he's been kept pretty quiet since then.
Well, he has. I thought that with Stam going off at half time, I thought there would have been a real opportunity for him, but in fairness to Jonsson and David May, they've accommodated him very well and worked well together as a team.
Appeal for handball against David May. Agathe. Silvestre, who scored United's opening goal in the first half, and United will taste success at Parkhead or Celtic Park for the first time in many years. Sheringham helping out in defence. Away by May. And there's a final whistle on a night when the Celtic fans came to say goodbye to Bobby Murdoch. Thank you to Tommy Boyd. Manchester United have come here and reminded them that they're still a potent force, and Martin O'Neill still has plenty of work to do if he's to manufacture a football team who can stand shoulder to shoulder with their Alex Ferguson. Terrific night for Tom Boyd. Reminder of the final score is Celtic 0, Manchester United 2.